A new energy system is taking shape across Europe, one in which citizens are leading the way. Renewable energy communities are empowering people to produce, consume, and manage energy locally, cutting emissions, boosting local resilience, and strengthening energy democracy. The LIFE Tandems project, funded by the EU, set out to explore how municipalities and citizen-led initiatives can come together to develop fair and collaborative models of energy sharing. The kick-off meeting took the partners to Mechelen in Belgium. One of the project's pilot sites is located there. The municipality is making roof areas of a social housing complex available to supply the residents with locally supplied energy. This in itself is an innovative approach in the existing European energy system, which is basically similar despite all the national differences. Let's take a step back and see how things work today, most of the time.
In the traditional energy market model, all producers have a contract with a supplier. These contracts are referred to as power purchase agreements, or PPAs. Typically, the price in these contracts is based on the market price. Similarly, end users have a contract with a supplier. The price per kilowatt-hour in this contract is also based on the energy market, whether the price is dynamic or fixed. This means that production and consumption are not directly related, and prices are determined by the market. Producers aim to achieve the highest possible price for their output, while consumers seek the lowest possible price. These opposing interests consequently heavily influence the electricity market price, largely determined by the availability and cost of oil, coal, and gas.
The basic idea behind most energy communities is based on the traditional energy market model, but with greater consumer involvement.
It's very important to involve citizens in the energy transition, because in the end, the energy transition to a large extent is a social, a societal, and also a democratic transition.
The challenges that you have to overcome by taking part in an energy initiative is that you have to think also in an inclusive manner, to make them open to others than the usual suspects.
In the traditional energy community model, consumers invest in production and receive a financial return. Many European municipalities offer their citizens this investment model to finance local wind or solar energy projects. Together, these consumers form an investment community, replacing opposing interests with capital investment and returns. However, there is no relationship between the consumer's energy bill and the producer's energy production. Rising energy prices result in high incomes for producers and high returns for investors, but also high energy bills for consumers. The traditional energy community model involves organized ownership of energy production assets and cannot be described as an energy sharing.
These models are great for involving citizens in ownership. But they don't change the fundamental market logic. When prices spike, consumers still pay more, even if they're part of the community.
My name is Justin Pagden and I work for AGEM. I've been working for AGEM for over 10 years now, and I'm a business developer. So we develop new initiatives for energy communities to really live up to the dream of being self-supplying, self-supporting. So the energy community is called Biozon, and it's actually a very interesting community in the sense that they invested in a generator that uses methane from an old landfill to produce electricity. And the electricity they produce, first they sold it to the municipalities in the Achterhoek region. And now we're running a pilot, which is quite interesting, in which the production of electricity is being supplied directly to the consumers, the members of the energy community, and it's being sold to them at a cost price. And it's interesting because the cost price from this electricity is way lower than the actual market price. And it's one of the first pilots in the Netherlands where we implemented this cost price model.
Energy sharing models reduce the need to operate within the energy market by directly supplying consumers with the energy produced. However, direct supply isn't always possible, as market interaction is necessary for selling surplus power and for purchasing power when production falls short. Energy sharing turns consumers into producers. It secures their supply and renders them less vulnerable to price fluctuations in the energy market. In the energy sharing model, the price paid for produced electricity is the cost-covering price. Paying less would lead to the energy community going bankrupt, while paying more would result in a surplus or profit for the energy community, which would be paid by its own members. Therefore, the most reasonable middle ground is the cost price including financial buffers. The final energy bill has to cover all costs within the energy community, including the production cost price, market buying and selling costs, and other costs. The energy sharing model still requires an energy supplier to be responsible for forecasting, energy sharing, balancing, surplus energy trading, and providing customer care and billing to community members.
To implement successful energy sharing models, it's crucial that we keep additional costs for the system low. So make sure that the model is very simple and that it can be integrated into already existing systems and processes.
In simple terms, the business architecture of the energy sharing model will look like this. End users will be members of an energy community and owners of energy production assets, such as PV panels or wind turbines. The electricity produced is supplied to end users via an energy service provider. Now let us add value flows. End users can either invest in a crowd-funded energy community or contribute energy-producing assets that they already own. Costs covered include those for additional energy production assets, real estate, and interest on bank loans. The energy service provider also incurs costs for linking to the energy market and providing its services. Based on the idea that the energy bill covers all costs within the value chain, the end user's energy bill contains the price per kilowatt hour and a fixed service fee. It's difficult to compare the energy sharing model to traditional market models in terms of price and risk, especially when future market developments remain uncertain. In the long run, energy sharing could lead to lower costs and reduced risks compared to commercially driven alternatives.
I would love to have a time where we don't consider about energy communities as a challenge, that they are a normal and very usual kind of way to include our participation in the energy transition and the energy market.
All over Europe, pioneers are bringing this vision to life, but conditions vary. Regulations differ, legal frameworks evolve. That's why the Tandems project aims to guide and support communities and municipalities as they work together. At the heart of this journey lies the open collaboration model, a practical process that helps both sides co-create a shared energy future in 4 phases: discovery, dream, design, and delivery.
The discovery phase.
During the discovery phase, we ask people that want to collaborate to look at opportunities on which they can collaborate. So this can be opportunities that generate social benefits to the community, economic benefits or ecologic benefits. But it's important that they have a joint opportunity and a joint project or targets that they can work towards.
The dream phase.
So during the dream phase, you really lay the foundations of your energy communities. And with the foundation, I mean, you think about the values that you want to create in your energy community. And that's actually where you build your collaboration around that.
Our aim is to generate our own energy and to support citizens in the energy transition and how to organize themselves. Tandems directly supported initiatives for energy community creating in Gabrovo with developing the model of how to work it, how to organize the process in it.
Казвам се Даниела Димитрова, директор на регионално депо за неопасни отпадъци. В момента сме на регионалното депо, където е разположена и първата инсталация, която е изградена, свързана с енергийната общност. След направени анализи се установи в финансово изражение, че разходите ни спадат с около 60%.
We combine existing instruments in the Bulgarian legislation because when we started there were no existing concrete legislation for the energy communities. And in fact, we combine the principles of crowdfunding to collect the money and to invite the citizens to join. We also use the instruments to install the PV on a suitable roof, so we share the different sources from the different stakeholders. The municipality provides the roof, the citizen provides the funds, and even we have consumers. The municipality has guaranteed that the energy that is provided is not just generated, it will be a sustainable way for the citizen and also for the municipality.
The energy system I dream of is a fair system. It's a system for all people. It's about renewable energy generated and used by people and for people. And I think when there is a fair energy system, there will be also a fair energy transition.
The design phase.
In the design phase, we expect from the people that collaborate, that they define clear roles on which they feel fit for their collaboration and define values that they can exchange with each other. It's important in a collaboration that everyone has this win-win feeling, that they have something that they bring in and something that they get out of the collaboration.
Hello, my name is Vaiu Trendafilu. I'm an expert in strategic development directorate in Burgas municipality. So here you can see another big project and another important measure that is implemented in the city of Burgas. And this is another step into making the city of Burgas climate neutral. We are actively working towards it.
Energy transition projects should be designed in such a way that everyone feels motivated, feels invited to join them. Like in a way that if you don't join them, you're fearing that you're missing out on all the opportunities that arise in such a project.
This anaerobic installation, it will be the first one in Bulgaria, which is constructed by a local authority. Electricity will be produced here as well as heat, which will additionally benefit not only the local authority but the citizens.
It is crucial to build understanding of each other. You build an insight into where the motivations, engagement and also the limitations lie. What I think of as a citizen-led initiative is when citizens try to take the problem they face in their own hands. So for the energy transition, that is really up the alley of the energy communities.
The delivery phase.
The delivery phase is where you have an ongoing project and you look back on that project and you systematically ask yourself the question, what has happened during those 6 months? What is going well? What is going less well? And what can we learn from that? And from that you draw an action agenda. So what are we going to do to improve on the points that are not going so well, for instance? So this deliver phase, it really helps you to keep track of your actions and why you are doing those actions.
The Tandems project has demonstrated that when people and local governments collaborate, they can develop clean, fair and community-owned energy systems. However, the necessary framework conditions must first be created in many places, and awareness must be raised that the traditional mechanisms of the energy market can be questioned and challenged, not only in theory, but in practice too.
I take away from the Tandems project that everyone is working on the same things together and we all meet different challenges, and it's absolutely great to get inspired by all the other stories and also try to inspire other people with your stories.
We need the collaboration with all the local governments to get a boost in the energy transition.
I take away from the Tandems project how important it is that municipalities and local communities work together to create a win-win situation for both.
I take away from the Tandems project the crucial importance of making energy communities more inclusive, and to reach that is not only the responsibility of the energy communities themselves, but they should work together towards that goal with municipalities and other stakeholders.
We are all able to learn from each other, and through these deep dives that we have taken throughout the project, we have found a way to be part of systemic change.